All right, here we go. Okay. So, last we left off, Evie has convinced you guys to help her on her plate to tell headmistress not to cancel school and to continue education so that the students can continue to learn and the school doesn't need to be shut down. You traverse the halls and falling try to quickly as Evie's walking through the halls. People are like gawking and like staring at her because she's Evie, and some people like move out of her way to like let her pass, and you kind of are picking up whispers of, oh, like who are these people that are with Evie? Like, are they cool? Like, are they in the group? You know, whatever. And then as you guys traverse the halls, you finally come to the headmistress's tower, where you wind up the staircase all the way up, and eventually get to her door. Just before you all enter the headmistress's office, Evie turns and then she pulls something out of her bag, and you see that there are 5 like buttons. The buttons say "Save Wakefield," like little pins that you would wear on your shirt. And Evie turns and she goes, "Okay, put these on. It's gonna look so good if we all just look in unison. We're here like we are an accomplished team." Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
I like this plan.
And she passes one out to each of you. Just make sure, yeah, like you gotta put it right there. There you go. Don't prick yourself. That needle hurts.
Right. Everybody ready?
Well, Evie, are you going in first?
Mm-hmm,
Are we going in
absolutely.
together?
We're going in all together.
All right.
Everyone have their pins on?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So Evie knocks on the door, but she doesn't wait for an answer, and she heads into the office. In her office, you see that headmistress is at the back of the office, where there is another elven man in kind of like a trench coat, scarf, paperboy hat on, and they were conversing before Evie kind of interrupts their conversation. And Evelyn, she says, "Headmistress Avis, I'm so sorry for the interruption, but I have gathered these students because there's something dire we need to talk about." And Headmistress Avis, she says, "I'm sorry, Detective. Let me take care of this." Yes, Miss Beauclair, what could you possibly have wanted to interrupt this meeting I have here? Well, headmistress, I know everything going on lately has been crazy. We have a dead girl, and you're thinking about closing the school, and that's just not something that we can have happen. And headmistress Avis, she says, "Oh, that is quite true. There is a student that has turned up dead in the river, and of course we're launching a full investigation. I have brought Detective Kuo from Hollowroot to help with this case. But what is it that you need to bring to my attention, that such as yourself?" And Evie goes, "Well, I brought these people here in to let you know that we have indeed found the killer, the murderer of Elodie Graves, because it was not an accident as everyone wants to believe. No, in fact, it was a murder." And Headmistress Avis, she stands and she goes, "A murder? And how do you know this?" Oh, what's actually very interesting. See, as you see, my roommates, as they have entered in, I've learned a lot about them, and it's quite interesting because actually, Headmistress Avis, Cadence Rose she's the one who killed Elodie. And the
What?
kind of when you go to say something, you realize you can't talk. And Headmistress Avis goes, "And what on earth do you mean, child? That's a very serious accusation." And Evelyn steps forward. She goes, "Yep. And to prove it, I have heard word through my sources about this. They planned the whole thing, and each and every one of them are all a part of the murder. They wanted to kill her to get revenge on her little mishap that happened in the history department on the first night of school." And Headmistress Avis looks at you all. You're stunned. You can't speak. You can't move. You just casually float into a euphoria and agree with everything that Evie is saying. See, Cadence, why don't you go ahead and admit it? And there's something in you that makes you say, "I killed Elodie Graves."
Yeah, I killed her.
See, that is a statement of her murder, so go ahead and have her locked up for the rest of her pathetic little life. I can't believe we had a murderer hiding in this school. Headmistress Avis, she goes over and she looks at you all. And you were all in on this? And you all have the inclination to say yes.
Can I have a saving throw against being charmed?
Nope.
Yes.
See, I told you. And Kuo, he comes over and he looks at you all, and he looks at Evie, and he looks at Headmistress Avis, and then he looks back at Evie, and then he walks up to each and every one of you, taking off your pins, and immediately you feel this like sense of like of relief. And Kuo says, "This discount store knockoff enchantment has made them say whatever Evelyn Beauclair has said, Headmistress." And he turns over the pins to her, and you see Evie just like absolutely just like, "Oh shit." And Headmistress Avis, she looks them over, and then she sets them down on her desk, and she says, "Miss Beauclair, I expected a lot from you, but to stoop so low as charming your students just to get your way for me not closing the school? This is absolutely ridiculous." And Evie's like, but," and she keeps like stammering over her words. And she says, Headmistress says, "What I want from you right now is to go back to your suite, think about what's going to happen, and I will meet with you later about what punishment you'll be taking. This is horrible and not unbecoming of a queen." And Evelyn, you can see herself just like her eyebrows, no tears come to her eyes, so they do become a little glassy. And she turns on her heels, doesn't look at you all, and walks out of the room.
Headmistress,
Yes, Miss Vane.
although her actions were indeed horrible, her underlying message, that's why we all came here. We wish to plead with you not to close the school. I don't believe she did the right thing and did it in a horrible, horrible way, for you not to, as if, if you could get the case solved, we could keep the school open. But we understand that there's a mystery here, and we know you'll keep investigating, but this place has started to feel like home. And I know that so many more students feel the same way as I do. I want to stay here. I want to learn, no matter if there's danger or not, because that is so important to me. But I just wanted to come here for the real reason, plead my case
Well,
of saying that we should have the school stay open.
Yes, well said, Maeve. I agree with you 100%. And I know there are lots of things that I don't know. But what if you accidentally send the murderer home or away and they get away?
Yeah, they could cause a lot of trouble somewhere else. And I agree with Maeve. I don't want to go back. I want to be here. I really do. Please keep the school open.
There are things that are going on behind the scenes, my pupils. And the board has been meeting, and they are letting the final decision about closing the school for the time being up to me. I do not wish to close Wakefield, for I believe it is a bastion of endeavors of our students and our faculty and of higher learning. Miss Grave, her death has been ruled an accident, though I do not believe so. Unfortunately, the council has ruled there is no further investigation, therefore I have hired a private detective to look into this. Kuo. He is highly astute and has never not solved a case. Now that he is here, I feel a little better about things. I do not believe I will be closing the school, but there will be heightened security.
Why would the board rule that there was no more to investigate?
Because her death was ruled an accident. But I do not believe so. Elzie Graves was on the swim team. There's no way that she could possibly have drowned in the river. I suspect foul play, and so does Kuo.
Well, we will leave you to your investigating and finish your interview with each other. Thank you so much for making up your mind to keep the school open. We truly appreciate it.
Is there anything we can do to help you?
No, I do not wish to put that effort on students such as yourselves. You have things to do, spells to study, and curricula to understand. I appreciate your willingness to help in this, but the best way to do it is just stay out of Kuo's way and let him do his business. He'll probably be posing as an adjunct professor, so the secret stays with us.
Understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood.
There is last one thing that I do need to discuss with Miss Rose. Is about her family. Now, the rest of you may leave, but Miss Rose, please stay here.
My family?
Yes.
Okay.
Maeve walks to Cadence and she puts her hand on her shoulder, just like a soft comfort, and she turns to leave and exits the room.
Elzie,
Catch up with you guys later, I guess.
Elzie also walks out.
And then, what about you two? No.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right. What I said was Mar is going to give Cadence a soft look and leave.
Ingrid she'll walk out of the room.
Is my family okay? Did something happen to them?
Headmistress Avis sits down behind her desk and motions for her to sit down at the chair across from her. When I wrote home about your lateness and tardiness and your detentions, they were quite surprised to hear from me. They said that they had no idea where he had run off to.
Well, yeah.
You
I
didn't
know.
think it was important to tell your parents where you were heading?
No, I thought it was best not to tell them. I didn't really think you'd write back to them so soon.
Well, yes, the letter has come to me quite promisingly. They wish to come and meet with you, but unfortunately they are not allowed on school grounds.
What did they
It is-
say in the letter?
They were worried sick about you, Miss Rose. You were left with no note. Your entire room was left untouched, except save for some books and your clothes. But they were quite worried about you.
I didn't do it to worry them. I didn't want them to be scared. I felt like they'd hardly even notice I was gone, and if I told them I was coming here, they would have stopped me.
I understand. Now, these are your parents, and disobedience to your parents sometimes can be something you need to do. But running away from them without telling them where you're going is not good. They were worried about you. If they had left you alone without any note, would you not be worried about them?
Yeah, I would. But they wouldn't have let me come here. It would have been a huge battle, and I don't know. I just know them, and I know that they're going to be upset about this, and they're going to try to get me to go back. And I don't want to go back.
While you are here at Wakefield, they will not be able to enter the school campus. They can, however, enter Esther Hollow. If I were you, if I would reconcile the situation, you might want to reach out to them and talk to them. But it is, at the end of the day, your decision as a student here at Wakefield. You are now your own person, and an adult can make your own decisions. You have been accepted to Wakefield among countless people who have applied. You're the one, the lucky few, that have gotten in for this term. Use it wisely.
I don't take that for granted. I really don't. Do you really think I should meet with them?
That is your decision.
They're kind of awful.
Well, then you can make the decision to either separate ways or extend an olive branch.
Do you think maybe if I do happen to get in trouble again, you could not write a letter to them, since I am my own person and an adult and all that?
Unfortunately, through the paperwork, we do. We need to notify your parents, your parental figures, until you are over the age of 25.
I understand. Maybe I'll write them a letter. I do feel bad for leaving. I just felt at the time like it was my only real option if I wanted to come here.
I understand. But you do what you wish, and I will back you up in your decision.
Thank you, Headmistress.
Of course, Miss Rose. Now, shouldn't you have studying to be doing?
More than you know, yes. Thank you again.
She nods, and then she waves her wand, and the doors behind open.
Cadence heads out and goes to rejoin her friends.
So they have all made their way back to Central Hecate Hall, waiting for you, I would assume.
Cadence, what was that about?
Not too much. Everything's okay. I just maybe should write my parents a letter.
You sound unsure.
Well, I didn't exactly tell them I was coming here. And
Why?
it's a long story. They never would have let me, though.
But this is Wakefield. Everybody wants to come here, I feel.
Unless the only thing you care about is Yuna. And you have really old-fashioned views about the Magi, and you think everything to do with the Weave is evil, and that the only right path for anyone is to study the church and become a summoner or a priestess. And everything else is not worth it.
That must have
I
been very
see.
hard for you.
I don't know how much my parents really like me. I mean, of course they love me. They're my parents, and I guess it makes sense that they are worried. I really didn't mean to worry them, but I know that if I told them I was thinking about coming to Wakefield, if they even found out about the potions I was making in the backyard, it was going to be a bad time. They would not tolerate that, and I wanted to come here more than anything. So when I turned 18, I left.
Were you supposed to be a summoner?
That's what my mom wanted. My sister's going to be a summoner.
Oh.
But I didn't want to do it. I didn't like sitting in church, and I didn't agree with the way they spoke about the Magi and the Weave, and there were just too many rules, and I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I kind of have a hard time with schedules and rules and, stuff like that.
I think we
We've
got a
noticed.
little bit of an idea.
Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of always been a thing for me. I don't do well with rigid schedules and timelines, but I am trying to do better. I know I still have a lot to learn, and I guess maybe that starts with writing a letter to my parents.
You could always try, and that is the best sort of action you could come across this. I mean, you could completely cut them out of your life, but you're willing to reach out to them, and if they smack it away, you did as much as you could.
If it goes the way I think it might, I probably will cut them out. But I guess Headmistress Avis said that when she wrote that letter back home, they were really, really worried, and that could have just been them being polite and formal in the letter. But if they are worried and they support me, then, I mean, of course I would receive them.
Will it jeopardize you being here?
I'm not going to let it. And Headmistress Avis said that they can't come onto the school campus, so unless they want to kidnap me out of Esther Hollow, which I hope they wouldn't do, it should be fine. I mean, they have Clara. She's going to be a summoner, so that should be good enough for them.
What
Well,
did Clara think
About what?
about you leaving? Did you not tell her?
I didn't tell her. She would have ran straight to Mom and Dad.
Oh.
I don't think Cadence. I don't think Clara would even come visit. We don't really get along. We're very different.
But she's your sister. Why wouldn't she?
I don't know. She's my twin.
is her name?
Wow.
You said it was Clara.
hmm Yeah, she's supposed to be a summoner. We're identical twins, but we act nothing alike. She's kind of a bully. Actually, she kind of reminds me of Evie, but in like a church way.
Good to know. Is there any other way to tell you guys apart?
I don't look like her anymore. I cut my hair off. Her hair is really long, and she's always in beautiful dresses and gowns. I mean, she looks the part. You would know it was not me, unless, we switched clothes or something, but my parents used to dress us always in the same outfit, and as soon as I was old enough to have a mind of my own, I couldn't stand it.
Fair enough. I'm in full support of you being here, so you do what you feel is right. Honesty is the best policy. I think you should be honest with them, but not if it's going to jeopardize you being here.
Thanks, Elzie. I really didn't do it to hurt anybody.
I don't think anyone does.
No, they wouldn't have allowed me to come here. Even if they did, it would have been a huge fight, and it probably is breaking my mother's heart, honestly, and I don't really want to face that, but maybe that's cowardly.
At some point, I do feel like there's a line that it crosses where it's not respectful to who you are and what you want to do.
I would describe them as oppressive and righteous. They're kind of hard to get through too, but I don't know. This is my life, and I want to be here. It's the only thing I've wanted for a long time, really ever, and so I will write them a letter because I want to be a good person. I want to do the right thing, but if they aren't supportive, then it doesn't matter. I don't need them.
Well, then it's settled. You can do it. And we're here if you need support.
Maybe you guys can help me write it or read it when I'm done.
Of course.
Thanks, guys.
Of course. That's what friends are for. And Elzie winks at you.
Speaking of friends, I thought Evelyn was actually trying to be friends with or nice to us, and she ended up just using us.
I knew it was a trick. I told you. You know what I think of her. I still think that. I don't trust her for a second.
I don't know how to describe it. We were trying to help her, and we had good intentions, and she used them.
It seems so weird, doesn't it, guys? That like since we've gotten here, all the professors that we've gone to and been honest with and trying to help Evie, like none of it really seems to be working out. It seems like we have Eliot Spellman and we can trust him.
I do trust Eliot. But I don't know. Evie wanted me to go to jail, like for murder. That's insane. She tried to ruin my life.
Yeah.
And she looked happy about it, don't you think? How am I supposed to keep seeing her around the school and being so close with her and not what should we do? It's gonna be awkward.
I don't think there's anything there that we can do.
Yeah.
I mean, Headmistress Avis already scolded her, but I think we just give her give her distance. I don't want to be caught up in any more of her shenanigans. I think we should just go and study. I mean, classes have been canceled for today, I think. So we do have upcoming exams. Maybe we should just, put our nose into a book, and that's what I would do if things would happen at home. Hide away.
I love the idea about studying, and I need to do that too. And I think we should give Evie distance. However, I do think we should just take a gander in her room at some point. I mean, I might have left a hair tie in there or something. I don't know. My wand rolled under the door. I just feel like after being accused of helping with a murder, I feel like we kind of were owed some answers.
I agree with Elzie. I feel like it's wrong that she wasn't threatened to be expelled. I mean, I can't say the word bitch, but Evie can try to send us to jail for murder and enchant all of us, and there's not even really a consequence. I mean, I guess Avis said there'd be a consequence, but
That's why you just have to hope that Headmistress Avis will give her the consequence. I mean, yeah, she has privilege because she is the future queen, but I don't think we should stir the pot. We shouldn't be looking for more trouble. Let's just...
No, is that like she knocked and then didn't even wait to go into Headmistress's office. So while Headmistress Avis might give her a punishment, she's the future queen. She's not going to do much. I am not saying we stir up trouble. We definitely can't get caught. But I don't think we're going to get answers, and we might get thrown under the bus again. And we might not get help out of it.
going through her stuff might be a way to prevent trouble.
I'm staying out of it.
Fair enough.
I'll help you, Elzie.
Okay. Anyone else?
We ought to put a stink bomb in her room.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with what we want to do.
Why? So that the whole suite smells? And then we have to live with it too? At least you guys have a separate bedroom and you can close the door. That stuff would seep underneath her door.
Definitely. Stink bombs out. We should figure something else out. Let's see here. Mar, do you have any ideas?
We could maybe see like harmless pranks in the library. That's my only thing I can think of. I don't condone this though. Yeah.
Okay.
And she seems kind of like off since the conversation with Cadence and her sister.
Well, do you guys want to start practicing spells? And Cadence, let's keep thinking about what we're gonna do.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I want to pass these exams.
Wait a second. When should we do this? Maybe we should figure that out first. Because she's gonna be in there at night, obviously, because she has to sleep there. So maybe we should do it. Do we know when she's not gonna be there? She has to take exams, right? Is not exempt from those?
What
And-
about when she's at that party?
Good idea.
That is a good idea.
Cadence, she doesn't want you there.
Fine by me. I don't want to go. I think that we have something better to do.
Definitely. I will say that I was no. I got sick.
You weren't invited.
I thought I was.
Only Ingrid was.
Jupiter offered to get you guys into the party, but obviously Jupiter isn't here anymore, and I don't know if she succeeded.
Right. I remember that now. Okay, yeah. Let's do it, Kate.
You're not going to that party, are you, Ingrid?
Would it matter?
Well, kind of. I mean, whose side are you on?
Who said I had to pick a side?
Cadence will look around at the others.
I do think that's not a terrible idea. Keep your friends close, enemies closer, kind of a deal. Someone's got to know what Evie's up to. And Ingrid, I'm not saying you have to be a mole, but if you find some stuff out, that wouldn't be terrible.
Or she could just have some fun on a party. And,
Yeah, with our good friend Evie.
and others.
And Astrid and Daphne, because they're so pleasant.
Or we could just focus on our studies and not get caught up in the drama.
We have a lot of drama going on outside of just social drama.
The drama that just happened was because Evie tried to trick us. We can't trust her.
Agreed.
I'm not saying we do, but I'm not trying to make an enemy out of her by pranking her back.
Okay. I don't want to prank her. I just
No, I was mostly kidding about the stink bomb. I just think it'd be good to know what's going on. I mean, if we had maybe, say, found those buttons before she just put them on us, basically, maybe we could have figured out that they were enchanted. I mean, there's a lot we could learn just by taking a peek in her bedroom. It's
Well,
harmless.
I'm not even a part of this conversation. And she turns around with her books in her arms, and she walks out to the courtyard.
well, Cadence. When did we decide to do it? At the party. So let's go practice spells because we need some help.
Yeah, let's go study.
Do you want to go to the library? Maybe Eliot's there.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. You guys want to come too?
Yeah, that might be smart. Study in a quiet place. I can get Maeve real fast, see if she wants to come.
So as you kind of depart and Maeve starts to walk off toward the courtyard, out of the courtyard doors, you see Professor LaFay. She comes up and saunters towards you, Maeve. She goes, "Oh, there you are. I've come to return your, you know what."
My what?
Oh, that's right. You don't know. Here, sniff this. And she pulls out a vial.
Is this safe?
Absolutely, I'm a professor.
All right. I mean, okay. And she takes a sniff of it.
You get this like beautiful sense of like weightlessness and then a harsh migraine and then it dissipates within moments, and all of your memories from the day before return.
Everything?
All except for what happened in the clearing.
Oh. What?
Do you feel better?
Yes, I didn't even
Perfect.
know they were gone.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to return them to you. Now, you aren't going to remember a part of it, because if I did give that back to you, the Fae could then come claim it again. So we're just going to act as if that never happened. And you don't know what happened, so it's quite perfect.
The Fae?
Yes, that's all we need to discuss.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right,
Now,
well,
where's your other
thank you.
friends? They need to be smelling this.
I don't know. I think they're back there. And she kind of like she's a little she's like, well, thank you, Professor LaFay. My attitude and tone is not towards you. Thank you.
Wait, are you okay, Miss Fate?
It's just teenage drama. I don't want to get caught up in it. I'm here to study. It's important to me.
Of course, just like your brother.
Yes. Do you know about him?
Of course, I taught him. He was in my homeroom class. I taught him magical beatings all 4 years, except for the third year when he went on sabbatical on an independent study.
Do you know anything about his independent study?
Yep, he traversed northern Oxley, examining old ruins, dungeons, things of that nature. He actually met up with my partner, Lucifer, and they were learning about Malistaire and his beginnings. He kept a book with him that he stole from the library. He said that he had hidden notes in it or something like that, but I don't believe he ever returned it.
Huh, well, if he never returned it, darn. Well, thank you so much for the information.
Of course. Is there anything else I can do for you, my dear?
Well, classes are canceled today, correct?
Just for the 5 of you for my class, though you still will going to have your other 2 classes today, Alchemy and Botany.
Oh, well, thank you for telling us. I thought all classes were canceled. Oh gosh, that means that we have to get to class soon.
You've got some time in the meantime to do at your leisure. I do expect with you and your studies that you are going to possibly become the Sorcerer's Apprentice at the end of your 4th year.
What?
The Sorcerer's Apprentice, you haven't heard of it?
No, what is that?
It's only one of the most esteemed internships that any student at Wakefield can get during their 4th year, first term. At the end of first term, the sorcerer comes and is selected from one of the students to become his new apprentice.
Oh. Well, I have a lot of studying to get to then.
Of course. Now, I'm going to try to find your friends to regain their memories. Good luck, Miss Vane.
You too, thank you.
Of course. And she parts away, where she sees the 4 of you all gathered around. Oh, there you are, my students. Here, I need you each to smell this.
That's the second strangest thing that's happened today, but okay. And she smells it.
Same thing. Brief, like lightness, headache, and then it dissipates with all your memories returning.
Third thing that happened today. Okay.
What is it?
Just trust me on this. You want to smell it.
Ingrid
There's a
will
lot
take
to
a whiff.
remember.
She hands it to each of you to give a sniff on, and you retain your memories from the previous day, except for what happened with the Fae. Perfect. I've done my due diligence to make sure that my pupils are perfectly well capable of passing their first week of exams.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Of course. Why is yours all so downtrodden?
It's been a weird day, like Mara was saying.
Exams just really have us down. So if you'll excuse us, we're gonna use our extra time to study in the library.
Of course. Now, I did see your friend, Miss Vane. She was heading out to the courtyard. But I understand teenage troubles. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
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 And she walks away up the stairs and saunters out of sight.
All right, guys, we gotta keep it together. I mean, I know that more than half of us don't agree with snooping on Evie, but we can't talk about it, and we can't let on that we're gonna do something.
Agreed.
I'll meet you guys in the library.
Are you gonna go
Maeve.
get Maeve? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Come on. She'll head to the library.
Ingrid would like to head to get Maeve as well.
Okay. So Maristela and Ingrid, you guys head out to the courtyard where you see Maeve sitting on a bench and reading her books.
Hey, Maeve.
She looks up and she's like, "Oh, hey, Mar."
They went to the library if you wanted to go there. I know how much you like the library and reading and stuff like that. And I think they're going to go get help from Eliot Spellman with their spells and stuff. I just wanted to extend the invitation to you too, so you didn't feel left out.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. They're so swept up in all of this, and we're forgetting the bigger picture. Studying,
Right.
learning, and I guess I just don't want to cause more trouble than there could possibly be here.
Right. I don't want to cause any trouble, actually, at all. The first day was scary enough with us
Yeah.
being late, and I don't want this on my track record. I think we'll be the bigger people by not doing anything else. If you can't say anything nice, don't say or do anything at all.
I understand and appreciate your logic, Mark. Come on, let's head to the library after them. Hey, Ingrid.
Yeah, I just came with her to extend the invitation to the library. And I was thinking the same thing. They're just going to get themselves into more trouble the more digging they do, but I've been consistently outvoted on most of these things, so I've all but given up.
Well, I guess I've learned after a few times of missteps in the past few days. I see your point.
I wasn't just trying to be the party pooper.
I see that now. I just didn't realize what the consequences could be.
Yeah, and if we expelled, that means we don't have a future at home at all. And I really, really, really want to be part of the Council of Tides.
Council of Tides, what's that? She asks as they walk to the library.
She explains what the Council of Tides is.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they're like really, really important people.
I could get my notes from Trey's book.
It's basically just a council of merfolk who kind of delegate laws, traditions, things like that, kind of governing bodies of merfolk.
Wow, you have such an important dream.
Well, I want to follow my father's footsteps. That's all. I want to make him proud.
Well, that's definitely what I don't want to do. So I'm making my own path here.
Well, that's good. I want to be one of the first wizards on the Council of Tides, actually. We don't have many magi mermaids, believe it or not.
Really? I thought mermaids were all about magic.
Healing magic, mostly.
Okay, you want to go beyond that. I see why you're here now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we stick together, we can help each other.
Gotta reach for the stars.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
She, like as they're walking, she kind of chimes in. So, what's so bad about your father that you don't want to be like him?
Well, it's just, they're aristocrats, and they push their nose up too high, and I don't want to be like that. Uh, uh yeah.
Is that why your brother left the family?
I guess one reason.
I feel like you should write him again and kind of explain where you are at this point of your life.
But I feel like I need some greater understanding in order to connect with him. I need whatever he learned. And if I learn that, then I feel like I can connect with him again.
I help.
Thanks. Well, we have maybe this weekend. I really have to, I'm going to dive into this book other than our studies, and I am hoping it'll point me in the right direction.
Well, good luck with that.
Thanks.
You guys enter the library. Cadence and Elzie, where are you guys at?
We're in the library in between some random books because Elzie wants to talk to Cadence privately for a minute. Elzie, kidding. Cadence.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm kind of concerned that they're gonna rat us out and get themselves in more trouble in the process. What do you think?
I don't think Maeve or Maristela would do that.
You left out Ingrid. Do you think Ingrid would do that?
I kind of think Ingrid might do that.
Okay, well, so should we lie to them? I mean, I don't want to lie to them, but this will be over before it starts if they rat us out.
Well, maybe we just won't bring it up again. We won't even mention it, and we'll just sort of take things into our own hands. And I mean, I don't want to lie to their faces. That seems really, really wrong.
I don't want to either, but I feel like if we just don't bring it up, Maeve walked away because she didn't want to be a part of it. So what if we say we had a change of heart and, that can mean a lot of things and we do it when they are, I don't know, at the party? Maybe they'll want to, I know they weren't invited. I don't know.
Well, maybe we could find some time alone and just say we're going to go off to study or something, and we could go back to the room, just the two of us. I still feel wrong about lying to them, though.
So should we just sneak back to our dorm now?
Right now?
Yeah, before they get here?
Isn't Evie probably there?
Yeah, she is. That's where headmistress sent her.
I think we should still wait till the party, and maybe we just won't say anything else about it. It's just upsetting people, and I really think it's the right choice. I mean, maybe not the right thing to do, but we could probably find out a lot of information and prevent what happened today from ever happening again. And if it's just going to freak them out and make them upset, maybe it is best not to talk about it with them.
Okay. I'll roll with it.
Okay. Whatever you want to say to them, I'll go along with it. But it doesn't feel very good.
No, I just meant we don't have to say anything else. We'll just leave it alone.
Just keep it between us.
Yeah, let's just work on studying and then
We'll talk about it
party
privately. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we both walk back out into the main area.
Okay. So by this time, Maristela, Maeve, and Ingrid have entered the library, and see you guys sitting down at one of the tables with your books open and wands out.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to recheck out this book I have, and I'll be right there if you want to help, start them off with some spells, and then I'll come back in and help them.
All right. Oh, can't hear you, Ashley.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Ingrid, will kind of nod to Maeve as she looks at Mar and then like heads over, kind of like in a gesture of like, all right, come on, let's go, to the table, and then she's gonna sit down. And Mar, did you learn the is it Rependo or the oh, did you learn that one? That's
Rapendo, the knockback spell? The one that
yeah,
Eliot taught us?
yeah.
I did.
Would you mind helping me learn that one? I think that's the only spell I have struggled to learn yet, and I know it's not part of the curriculum, but having as many spells as I can in my up my sleeve is helpful.
Yeah. I think I mean, as long as we don't cast it, I think we're okay. What happens if we cast it in the library?
I mean, I just want help practicing to learn it. I wasn't going to try and like actively like use it here.
Yeah, I can totally help you. I can help any of you guys if you need help with spells, actually.
I haven't learned any of them yet.
I thought you learned I know it wasn't a curriculum one, but the
Practice?
yeah.
Practice, yeah, but I mean, the curriculum ones, that's the only spell I know. I don't know anything we're going to need for the exams.
Well, Revelus will be a good one to learn, and obviously the Echoes spell.
Yeah, that's the one I need help with.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can do my best to help you guys. I just know, well, I guess a hint is per each spell, I kind of feel that spell within me. Like if I want to reveal something, I think about my eyes because you're revealing something to your eyes. If I want the echoes, I think of an echo in my head. The practice, I think of like the coldest part of my body, obviously, to get the cold. And then the knockback spell, I just think about something that's painful on me.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Just use your body as an extension of, well, your wand's an extension of your body.
Maeve, what you said that you wanted to go check out something?
Oh, yes, my book is due and I want to recheck it out for the weekend.
Okay. So you head up to the desk where Madame Violet is stamping returned books and things like that. She goes, "Oh, hello, dear."
Oh, hello, Madame Violet. I was wondering if I could recheck this book out for the weekend.
Yes. Let me see. What book is it?
The advanced history of the Tanyel.
Yes. Let me see here. Let me see. Make sure that no one else is waiting on this book to be returned. Where is it? Let's see. Extended history of the Tonalia. Oh, perfect. And doesn't seem that there's anyone else on the list. Of course, I will let you check it out. This book does need to be returned by Tuesday, and you cannot re-advance it. Understood?
Oh, really?
You can only extend a book one time.
Understood. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, of course, if no one else is on the list, you may use it here at school, in the library, but you cannot take it home back to your dorm.
Okay.
Right. Happy studying.
Thank you. And Maeve turns around and she takes out her alchemy book. As she sits back down, she watches everyone practicing their wand technique for the spells. And she's like, I'm going to really look into this potion because I know alchemy is going to be one of my hardest subjects. I can just tell, and we have a huge test on it.
Well, I can help you with alchemy.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you helped me with practice, and I'm pretty good at alchemy.
Excuse me.
What?
I was the one who got you the help with that spell, not her.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I just mean that, the one time Maeve was trying to help too, and she asked for help with alchemy. It wasn't really about you.
That's fine. That's fine.
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, Ingrid.
It's fine. The only reason you learned it was because I was the one who asked for extra help.
Do you need help with alchemy too?
I think I'll be fine. I've been studying it all week.
Okay.
Okay. I want to make sure I memorize the steps of this potion because that's what we're going to be tested on, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she goes and starts reading the recipe over and over.
Okay. For those of you that want to learn Rependo, go ahead and roll a strength check with advantage.
Ooh, nat 20.
Liz, are you rolling? Okay.
Yeah, 19.
Okay. So, with a little bit of help of Maristela, you guys are able to master the spell and you have become proficient in it. That does consume an hour of time. Therefore, your alchemy lessons are coming up soon.
Mar is going to also study her alchemy book as well because she's a little nervous about potions. But she'll keep glancing up to make sure that her wand technique's okay.
Okay. And what do I need to roll to get Messentia?
Essentia is a wisdom check with advantage.
I need that one too.
17.
Do I
So-
have time to learn another one?
No.
Okay.
So while you guys were practicing Rependo, Elzie was working on Messentia. And with your 17, you rolled twice, and that was your highest score.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with it, with the help of your peers, you're able to become proficient in that spell. There's about 30 minutes before you need to be classed in alchemy at this time.
We should probably get going, or I'm gonna get going because I know he said if you're on time, you're late. So I'll want to be there at least 20 minutes early because maybe that's on time.
I'll come with you, Mar.
I'll also go with you.
I agree. And she closes her book and puts her wand away. Heads with them.
Okay. So you guys head out of the library and down into the alchemy labs on the lower floors. And you see that there are already students lined up out of Professor Kern's classroom. And noticeably, Evie is not there. Astrid and Daphne are in line, but they just look absolutely lost without their queen bee. Archer's in there. Eliot's the first in line at the door, frantically with his book in his hand and his quill in the air, scribbling down notes and things like that to remember. And then the door opens up to the potions lab, where you see on the board examinations is written. You all take your seats at the tables and get out your cauldrons. And then Professor Kern, he turns and he looks at you all and he says, "All right, there's nearly 1 minute before the bell rings. You will have exactly 1 hour to procure the healing draught. All your ingredients are scattered around the room in their respective places. You may begin as soon as the bell tolls." And then as you kind of take your seats, you hear the bell toll and the examination begins. First things first. Let's see here. All right, time to gather your ingredients. Everyone can roll a nature check, and those who have advantage on this is Ingrid and because she was studying enough. And I didn't clock. And Maeve, you get it. And then Maristela, you get a +2.
You said nature.
Nature, yep.
Nat 20.
24.
19.
3.
Nat 20.
So with Elzie and Maeve, you both see that Cadence is getting tree sap and not goodberry tree slime. Do with that what you will.
And she like tries to make eye contact with Cadence.
Roll sleight of hand. And then Cadence roll perception.
Golly.
Okay, if I'm proficient in sleight of hand,
You add 2.
add 2. Okay, so 13.
Okay.
5.
She does not catch your glance.
Maeve looks over at her and she doesn't try to, but she takes an extra long time picking up the good berry tree slime. And she takes a deep breath and she walks back to her table with her ingredients.
Everyone but Cadence gets everything. Cadence, you get everything except for you got the sap instead of the slime.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you have now all of your ingredients and you begin with the first part of the recipe. For this part, you're going to go ahead and roll a medicine check. Same thing with advantages and the +2.
Let me just switch out my dice real quick. I was in jail.
14.
9.
Also 9.
17.
6.
All right. So anything above a 12, you successfully complete that part of the recipe. The other part, you might have forgotten how, if you're stirring counterclockwise or clockwise, maybe you've forgotten what the color is, but you failed that portion. Next. As you're brewing, you want to make sure that you are using the mortar and pestle correctly, cutting up whatever you need, popping out the moss pods, things like that. So you'll roll survival.
$18.
10.
13.
14.
14.
Okay, anything above a 12, you pass this portion of cutting up your ingredients perfectly, getting them all done correctly. Anything from 8 to a 12, they're a little rough on your cuts and things like that. Anything below an 8, you fail that portion. So I think everyone passed that. Next, you're going to want to make sure that you have the proper heating, the proper colors of the potion, things like that. So go ahead and roll Arcana.
$13.
17.
5.
21.
24.
So anything above a 12, you pass at proficient above advanced level proficiencies. Anything from an 8 to a 12, you're at par level. Anything below an 8, you fail that portion. So I think the only person that failed that part was Ingrid, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, it's the final steps of preparing the potion as the hour is slowly coming to an end, and it's time to bottle your potion with proficiencies. Go ahead and roll performance.
Nat 20.
Nat
First time.
20.
Nice.
All right. Plus, because I know it doesn't really count.
Got it.
20,
12.
24.
21.
6.
Damn. Are you sure your dice have higher than 12?
I swear to God. Who
Are you sure they're
cursed my
balanced?
character? Yeah, and I have 2 different sets, and it's not going great.
I might
That's it.
buy you a new set. That's horrible.
I love the sets I have. They're just not thriving.
With the nat 20s, you do see Cadence is having a little trouble. It looks like her fire is brewing a little hot. So when she's trying to pour in her potion vial, it's giving her a problem. Do with that what you will.
What do I do? Mara's going to kind of accidentally elbow her a little bit and look at the flame real fast.
Roll sleight of hand, and
Mhm.
then Liz roll perception.
Oh my
It's a straight
God.
19.
Okay.
I'm so sad. 3.
She doesn't understand what you mean.
I just speak fish.
I'll be right back. So sorry.
You're fine.
She just kind of mutters under her breath, like, watch out. And keeps going.
All right. Elzie, did you want to do anything with your nat 20?
Yeah, I'm going to also try to get her attention and kind of shoulder, point out the flame without really pointing to it and making it obvious.
Roll sleight of hand, and then roll perception.
7.
23.
Yeah, she doesn't get it.
I
And
don't
you're
know.
adding all of your proficiencies and everything?
Yes, yes. I mean, Cadence doesn't have great stats. Most of my my perception modifier is a -1, but
Oh, shit.
I just am rolling 4s. I don't know.
You're
I'm
halfling, right?
sorry. Yeah, but that only applies to nat
So
ones.
nat 1.
The halfling look?
Yeah, so if I
halfling
roll a
luck is
4
nat
with a
1.
-1 mod, there's nothing I can
Okay.
do.
I'll try to help.
So-
Sorry.
So out of the five,
Can...
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, can Ingrid try to tap into her little just being I know that she how do I phrase this? I can't even do this. Her little give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I don't know if divination really even helps with this, but should she kind of try and tap into that and close her eyes for a second and just try and telepathically force Cadence to do better?
So-
Or hey, you're doing something wrong.
You wouldn't be able to do anything with divination, but you can do something physically.
She doesn't want to do anything physically because she does not want to get caught.
Just spitball.
No.
At least you tried. Yeah, unless you had something divine sense or something, you know what I mean, like a spell or an ability, then yes. But
I don't think so.
okay.
Uh, shit.
So
Sorry, Cadence.
as long as you have passed 3 of those 5 checks, you get a passing grade. If you got 4 or 5 passing checks, you pass it with flying colors. If you got less than 3 checks, you have failed the exam. The good news is everyone passes. Let's see. Elzie and Maristela and Ingrid, you all pass with flying colors. No, Maeve too. And then Cadence just gets a passing grade. As you bottle up your potions, you hand it over to Professor Kern. He looks it over and he writes something down in the book of his records, and he doesn't say anything. And then you guys clean up your messes, and then as everyone has finished turning in their potions, Professor Kern looks up. He says, "I will have these graded this weekend. Enjoy." Class is dismissed.
That was pretty easy, actually.
Cadence, it looks like you did well. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I told you I have a knack for alchemy.
Maybe, in the future, grab slime instead of sap.
I'm pretty sure it was the sap.
Okay.
I mean, don't worry. I'm pretty sure if you just pass a few of the portions, you'll still pass. So it's not a big deal if you grab the wrong thing, Maeve.
Well, do you guys want to head to Botany?
Yes.
Probably should.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so you take your time gathering your things, and as class disperses, you still see that Evie is not in sight. She was not in class at all, but the rest of the students kind of maneuver their way across the grounds, and you guys head to the Arboreum, where you get into the classroom, and let's see here. I got this pulled up. Professor Thornwright wears a blank expression as he stares through the greenhouse glass. The clouds are dark, and it feels like rain could start pouring at any second. The professor continues to stonily contemplate the effect of the heavy rain was going to have on the school's gardens. It wasn't until a student quietly asked, "Professor," that Thornwright snaps out of it and realizes that the class has gotten settled in. "Oh, my apologies," he says, standing up from his desk and shuffling papers around. "All right, where were we last class? Let's see. The natural treatments for poisonous plants." Professor Thornwright rips around and quickly flicks his wand towards the board, where you see the letters COWS get written on it.
Cows.
Cows.
Cows. Clothing, oils, wash, scratching. The students all kind of return a confused look, but the professor continues as if it was obvious what he was trying to tell you about cows in a botany class. COWS, COWS, covers the 4 basic and immediate steps you should take after coming into contact with a poisonous plant. These are the steps to follow immediately. Clothing will need to be washed. There's no sense in trying to get rid of the effects of a poisonous plant if you're still going to be wearing the clothes that you would have come in contact with the plant. And in that same sense, anything that the oils of a poisonous plant can cling to should be washed well. Your hair, a bracelet, your wand, anything. Otherwise, you'll end up touching those oils again, and treatment will become nearly impossible. The professor pauses a moment to catch his breath, as well as to allow the students to catch up in their note-taking. Once they finally set their quills down, he moves to the next letter of the acronym. W. Wash. You need to wash the area of immediate contact. The most effective wash is going to be using warm water with soap. Quite simple. Just plain old warm and soapy water is your best bet. Any other fancy mixes could further irritate the area if you're still unaware what kind of poison that you're working with. Lastly, S for scratching. No scratching. The students all jolt their heads up from the notes, wide-eyed and surprised. Scratching, Professor Thornton continues with emphasis, is a mental game you're going to play with the poison. Itchiness is a common effect of poisonous plants, and the easiest way to let them win is to scratch. So don't do it. Tell yourself it's not an itch. Use itch cream if you need to, but for Merlin's sake, don't keep scratching. The professor is still shaking his head as the students went back to writing their notes, this time a little more hesitantly. After the majority of the quills are set down, the professor decides to continue. And he writes up on the board, DRAM. Anyone want to take a guess what these mean? No? No worries. It's Dittany, rue, aloe vera, and mistletoe berries. With another switch of his wand, Professor Thornlight begins to read off a newly replaced words on the board. DRAM. Now forgive me. I had to get a little more creative with this acronym. He scrunches his face and he looks around the board. But nevertheless, DRAM. This is the acronym we use to remember all specialty items that may be applicable to the area affected by a poisonous plant after you've done all the immediate treatments. These herbs have the potential for being helpful. Professor Thornlight begins pacing the greenhouse, weaving between the students' desks. Dittany is an herb you may have heard of before. Dittany is an extremely helpful and powerful healing herb. Its two healing specialties are stomach aches and simple wounds such as a gash on your hand, a scrape on your elbow, or even a slice in your leg. Things like that. If a poisonous plant had the effect of rubbing your skin raw, Dittany is a go-to. Similarly, the essence of Dittany is an all-around fabulous healing potion, of which Dittany is the key ingredient. If your injury isn't fatal and you have the time, I'd certainly suggest brewing this potion. It's fantastic for healing poisonous wounds. The professor ends the note with a smile as though he thought Dittany is his favorite herb. Now, rue. We also call this a different type of word. Does anyone know what that might be? Don't forget, you can always raise your hand and roll to see if your character would know this. Don't forget. Participate in class. Yes, Miss Vance. Vane.
Nature plus 8 plus 4 is 12. What do I know about rue?
That's also known as the herb of grace.
It is also known as the herb of grace.
Ah, yes, correct. Good job, Miss Vane. It is likely that the herb of grace is your second best bet when it comes to poisonous plants. It's great for recovering from poisonous plants, and as such, does a fairly good job at healing poisonous wounds. Similar to Dittany, rue is also the key ingredient in a healing potion when it comes to poisons. Unsurprisingly, that potion is called the essence of rue. Again, if time is not to do or die factor, I'd recommend brewing this bit of potion. The students are now scratching away vigorously at their parchment, trying to keep their best to keep up with the professor. Once he notices, he pauses and allows them to catch up. Right then, aloe. Aloe vera is a plant that you might be very familiar with. Perhaps you've used it on a sunburn before. The plant is very cooling and does wonders for things such as sunburns. Similarly, the effect of a poisonous plant may be a burning sensation, similar to when you eat spicy food. Aloe leaves can be cut and squeezed out onto any wound that you may get from a poisonous plant. Freezing aloe before using it will provide an even better result for soothing an itching or burning wound. Professor Thornlight is now standing up at the front of class, next to his desk. Now, he starts hopping up to sit on the desk. Mistletoe berry seems quite familiar, yes? Right. And then you see Eliot in the back row looking a bit confused. I thought mistletoe berries were poisonous, Professor.
I'm about to say that too.
That is very correct, Eliot. However, mistletoe berries may be used as a possible healing herb for poisonous plants. Mistletoe is a parasitical plant that carries some healing properties. In fact, the berries are great when it comes to poisons and memory loss. Though I doubt you'll come by any poisonous plants with effects on your memory, it's worth a shot if all you've got is mistletoe, perhaps around the holiday season. Well,
Professor?
Yes, Miss Phoenix.
So are the chances low that you would get your memories back in that case? Or is it like, it's pretty good at doing that?
Well, there's always going to be recovery spells from memories, most notably draughts of memory regeneration. Um, they are quite difficult to procure, but yes, it is possible for memories to be reworked and back. In fact, actually, some of the best memory work is by the Tolls of the Valley of the Living Rock up near Arendelle. They have a masterful way of modifying memories. And also, and come to fact is that vampires also have a great way of creating memories and memory loss, as sometimes for their prey, they must need to erase those memories of them being fed on.
Wow.
Yes,
Will we
miss.
ever visit Arendelle in class?
Perhaps not here in this class. There are other places that we might visit on field trips coming in the future, especially during the winter time. There are great places that we can go, but most plants around the world can actually be found in the arboreum. Each greenhouse has, each biome has different things. Now, going to Arendelle might be something that Professor Stella might invite you to, or as he is from Arendelle, actually. Well, everyone, it looks like our time is winding down. What I would like for you to do is to remember these acronyms, COWS and DRAM. These should be especially helpful to you. Just be careful out there. For the remaining class, I would like for you all to get a search around the room, look at plants, and see if you can identify whether they are poisonous or they are helpful. You may pair up or go on your own. The rest of the class is yours. And he turns to look outside of the glass windows, seeing that the rain has finally started to come down.
Cadence. Do you want to be partners?
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. And we start kind of just walking towards some plants. Do you think that these mistletoe berries could be handy for our mission?
Well, maybe. I think I was wondering if maybe that's what Professor LaFay gave us earlier today. To help us remember what happened yesterday?
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking we could keep them handy, but yeah, let's. Wait, so are you saying we should?
I wouldn't steal them if that's what you're asking.
Is it?
They don't wipe your memory, they can help restore it, right?
Right.
Why would we need that?
I don't know. Just a thought.
We don't remember that LaFay, the vampire, right? She erased that
Correct.
too?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like that was pretty suspicious enough to be like, she gave us memories back.
Mara's gonna bring it up.
She just basically talked about how she reworked her memories. The memories that you have been given back to you is that you remember that Professor LaFay helped you modify your memories to help detract the Fae from coming after you. But obviously, yeah, that's the memory you have.
So Cadence will ask Elzie, why do you think we need those?
Well, if we get that memory back, how will the Fae know? You think the Fae will know?
I don't know. I feel like we got our memories back.
I could have swore Professor said that she altered our memory.
Well, I mean, if you want to take some of the berries and take them, I'm not going to stop you.
Well, let's see if we can find them first.
I'll help you look, but don't get caught. I wouldn't steal from here.
Okay.
But Cadence will keep her eye out for mistletoe berries and walk amongst the plants.
All right, roll nature check.
Elzie's also gonna look around, so I'm gonna do that too.
Sure.
While they're off doing that, Ingrid's going to kind of stick close to Maeve
and like as they're walking around, and she's gonna like have her book out, and she's like taking notes like on the plants and like comparing them to the pictures in the book, as she's like walking around, but then she's gonna kind of start chatting with Maeve. So you really think that your father has his nose too far up?
Well, yes. He doesn't like to talk to normal people, as he would say, and he can be quite judgmental of people below our class. I don't like that. I'm not that kind of person. And, you know, there's some things that I just rather not be associated with. I want to be my own person. I mean, yes, I have the Vane family name, which is all important and all of that, but I want to make a name for myself. I want to be Maeve Vane, not another Vane.
Yeah, I understand that. I applaud that. I didn't really think that. I kind of wondered if I was going to meet you here, but I didn't think that a Vane offspring would be like you.
What do you mean?
I don't mind you. Well, I mean, you're a Vane. Like, everybody knows who you are. I knew that we were about the same age. I just figured you would be here because of the name. But
Are you from
I know
Hollowroot?
that. No. I'm from north of Hollowroot.
Okay. I'm just surprised anyone out of Hollowroot knew who I was.
My family did some traveling. Not the kind of fancy traveling you're probably accustomed to, but I don't
Well,
know. We traveled around, and I know a lot of wealthy families.
oh, well, I'm glad you don't think that I'm like them.
Well, I mean, you've said that you don't want to be like them, and so far you've been far more helpful than I thought you would have been. So,
Well, thank you. And just so you know, traveling is still traveling. It's still important. You probably actually have more opportunities to understand culture of different societies than I do. And Trey is gone, and we don't know what to do without a DM. What
I
The
would
was
we
just
metagame.
I was just gonna say I mean that was about I'm about tapped on that conversation. And so Ingrid was gonna kind of like quietly smile to herself and nod as she keeps like jotting notes in her notebook.
Maeve will do that as well. She's going to go through her notebook, jotting down, oh, look at that. I'm going to roll nature to see what kind of planet that is. I rolled actually really bad, and I got an 8. I mean,
Oh,
that's not terrible,
you
but still
poor
low roll.
thing.
You probably could not identify that plant.
You know what? It kind of looks like a poisonous plant, so I'm not going to touch it.
Sydney's the
Okay.
DM now, Trey.
I'm gonna play it safe.
We
We
can't
can
hear you,
muted.
hear
love.
you. No.
I was muted. Sorry.
Uh,
Okay, go ahead. Absolutely. I'll be playing the role of Eliot.
actually, Mara is going to go over to Elliot. That's what she's doing.
That's so funny because I was going to have Eliot come out tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Mara's like wide berthing, like trying to stay as far away from plants, like scooting over, and then she's gonna scribble in her book real fast, rip off a piece of paper, curl up, and like hand it to Elliot. And it says, "Can apples be magic?"
He like looks at the note and he like looks at her and he's like, "Do you want me to answer you out loud or do you want me to write it down?"
I don't know. It's what you preferred. I know you just don't like talking as much, so I wanted to make you comfortable. That's all.
Oh, I've just never passed notes in class, so it's kind of exciting. I wanted to write it down.
Oh, you can write it down totally.
I can?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. And he scribbles something on the with his quill, and he like looks around and he like gives it back to her.
Okay. She like reads it.
It says, "Yeah, why?"
And she's gonna scribble again. Do you want me to scribble again, or
Yeah, keep going. We can just
Okay.
write. We'll just talk out loud, but we're
okay?
assuming this is all in writing.
Yeah. Okay. She's gonna write down because I saw Evelyn give 2 teachers apples, and then they obeyed her command.
Oh, that's kind of concerning.
Oh, why is that concerning? I mean, I guess it's concerning because she's like, making somebody do something. But I was just wondering if she's writing it back down. She's like, is that bad? Like, it's a bad magic? And she gives it back.
Well, controlling anyone outside of their consent, I would say, is bad. So yes.
Okay. It's just a hunch. I just noticed the apple thing. I was curious. That's all. She
And then he writes back. He said, "I'll be on the lookout too. Hey, are you going to that party tomorrow night?"
Oh, and she's gonna write that. Wait, did she say it? Did he say it out loud?
No, this is
Okay,
all
you
in
write it down.
writing.
Okay. She's gonna write. No, I wasn't invited, but Ingrid was. If you want to see if you want to go with her, she maybe let you be her +1.
Well, I was gonna ask you if you wanted to because I got invited, weirdly enough, and I didn't know if you wanted to go too and your friends. Then we could like do normal, like teenager stuff. I kind of want to break from all this book stuff.
She like looks at him and she looks back at her friends and she doesn't write this down. She's like, yes, too loud.
Like completely like is shocked. Just like, oh, okay, cool, cool. I got invited to a party.
That's cool, because I didn't get invited to a party. That means you must be pretty cool.
I don't know. I got invited by like Malachi and his cronies. So like, whatever. Maybe they're gonna try to make amends.
Oh, well, I hope so. You don't think they're gonna do anything to you, right?
I mean, it's a party. Like, why would they single me out?
I don't know. I've never been to a party before. I don't know how it works.
I've never been to a party either. I just read about parties in books. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I only saw them in pictures in books. That's even worse than what you just said. So.
Oh, okay. I guess we're in this together.
Yep, we're just gonna be 2 floppy fish.
Floppy fish.
You're not a fish. I'm sorry. I'm a fish.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
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 Yeah. How's your test go? How'd you do? I should write it down again.
He like flips the note over because it's like filled with just this paper. He's like, I've been terribly filled with anxiety about it. I'm pretty sure I missed question 14 on it, and then there was other parts of Eleanor's third law of Fanticide, which, you know what's really weird? Do you know someone by the name of Sapphiria Highmagic?
No, that's a weird name.
It is a very weird name. And you know what's even weirder?
Mm.
Everyone I talk to about it doesn't seem to remember her either.
Is she a ghost?
She looks like it.
I mean, Madame Violet's a ghost, so she can't be that bad.
She isn't exactly translucent, but her hair is really pretty. And she smells really good.
What does she smell like?
Patchouli.
Oh. I haven't smelled patchouli anywhere, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, how'd you get that name, though?
Well, one of my professors, I asked her about it, and she went on this whole thing like, "Oh yeah, she exists," but it's weird. I'm kind of think, and he like looks around and he like puts the paper down. He's like, "I don't want to write it down.
Okay.
I think she spelled me."
Oh. Well, that's no good. She's a bully, too.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think so. I don't know why she would do that though.
Maybe it's a prank. Maybe Evelyn put it up to her. Or that Malachi fella.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. Well,
But they don't remember either.
no, it's weird.
Is she in this class right now?
And he like looks around. He's like, "Well, I don't see her."
What class is she in with you? Is she with our class?
She's in our magical beginnings class. Maybe. It's like every time I think about her, I remember her. But then when I try to remember her, I forget about her.
That is some weird magic.
See?
Huh.
I saw her the other night in the astronomy tower.
Oh.
When we were having class and we were staring up at the stars. The first time I saw her was in the library, and I felt this really weird thing. And I'm thinking that maybe that's when she spelled me.
Oh.
But it's weird because I've tried about curse removals, curse hex removals, ointment, but nothing seems to work.
That's a really strong curse. It seems pretty dangerous, actually.
Yeah. Well, if she does come around, I'm gonna confront her.
Oh, okay. Well, if I see anybody weird looking and smells like patchouli, I will also confront her and say, "Don't be mean to Eliot Spellman.
Thanks, Maristela.
Yeah, we're in this together."
Cool. See, I don't have a lot of friends, so thanks for being mine.
Yeah, I don't have too many friends either. I mean, I guess they're my friends. That's what they say we are.
Hey, that's more friends than I can have.
Well, maybe this party will help.
Yeah, maybe this party. And then you hear the bell tower chime as the signaling end of the class. Oh, well, I gotta go. I'll see you later.
Okay, see you later.
And he gathers his things, puts it in his bag, and then tucks his books under his arms and smiles at you. And then he walks out of the greenhouse.
Marcel then like runs over to the rest of the girls. She's like, "I have exciting news.
What is it?
Oh,
We're all invited to the party.
what?
Eliot invited us to the party."
Oh, that's nice.
How did he get invited?
Oh, he said Malachi and his goons, something word, invited him.
I hope that's not. I hope they're not planning on doing something mean to him.
Well, if they are, then I'll punch him in the face.
Good for you.
That's mean. That's what the books say to do.
Yeah, I would do that too. But
Did you happen to ask him about any of the stuff that's been going on, or did you tell him anything?
No, we just talked about parties, and he ran into some strange girl. He thinks he got charmed by her. It's kind of mean as well. So he just has a bunch of bullies, I guess.
Aw, why does he think he got charmed by her?
Well, he can't really remember her. But then I also don't know her either. But he claims that she's in our astronomy class and our magical beginnings class. But I don't know anybody by the name of Sapphiria Highmagic in either of those classes.
It doesn't sound familiar, but didn't one of our professors tell us about Can't the Fae? Wait, isn't there a group of people that can make you forget about them? Just like being around them? Isn't that a thing?
There probably
Maybe
is.
Thinking of.
Vampires can do that and spell you. They like look in your eyes.
Maybe she's a vampire.
Well, next time I see Eliot, I'll tell him that theory, because that kind of makes sense. He says he was kind of like a ghost, but wasn't see-through.
Weird. Anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna go to this party. I mean, if Evie's, or I'm sorry, Evelyn is going to be there, and we just got accused of murder, I'm just not really in the mood. Plus,
this-
I have some reading that I want to do.
Oh,
When is the party?
tomorrow night, right?
Yes.
Let's go look at my notes real fast. I mean, I understand that, but I mean, it'd be kind of like a big middle finger to her. It'd be like, "Haha, we here, we got invited."
Yeah, big middle finger, like trying to throw everybody under the bus for a murder they didn't commit.
Well, maybe we'll just be the more adults about it and go and be like, "Yep, it's just a chip off her shoulder," or whatever the phrase is with like brushing it off her shoulder. I forget the phrase. I have to read up on human phrases again.
As you all exit the greenhouses,
Did we... Elzie and Cadence were looking for berries.
what was your roll?
I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 24.
So yes, you are able to find the mistletoe berries.
Okay.
Cadence is like, here they are, and they're like raspberries.
Can Elzie roll to see if she can pocket one?
Yeah, roll sleight of hand.
Okay.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we caught that before we moved on.
16.
Yeah, she's able to kind of pick a couple off and slip them in her bag.
Okay.
As you guys exit the arboreum or the greenhouses, and you're still inside the arboreum, you see a barn owl come swooping down from the rafters of the arboreum, and it flaps its wings as it holds out an envelope with the 5 of your names on it.
Oh, how
Mar
peculiar.
is hiding behind somebody.
Ooh, what a beautiful owl.
Yeah, and it's got something in its talons. What is that?
I don't know. I can't reach, but
Elzie walks closer and reaches for it.
So as you take the note out of its talons, you see that it's like wrapped in an envelope with all 5 of your names on it.
Guys, it's got her name on it.
Oh, open it up.
Oh,
Elzie opens it up.
And you see in old like just like crumpled up paper and quick handwriting, it says, "Meet me outside Captain Dapperwing's manor at midnight tonight and see if you got what it takes."
Guys, what do we think of this?
What?
Who would want to send us something like this?
Evie.
See if we have what it takes. So she's threatening us?
I don't know. This is weird. It kind of sounds like a fight. Well, we have what it takes. We'll take them.
where's his manor?
Yeah, where do we know where this is?
Someone who read the brochure, roll a history check. I will say, Sam, your picture right now is so cinematic. It's giving me very CW Vampire Diaries right now. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, your camera looks good.
Oh, thanks, guys.
What'd you
Well,
get, Ren?
Ingrid. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I was
no,
gonna
yeah.
say,
Yeah, go ahead.
Ingrid may have read the brochure panel or pamphlet thing, but she does not remember anything because she rolled a 5.
Ooh. Maeve rolled a 17 plus a 6. I can't do math right now, so that's a high number.
23.
Thank you.
So, what you remember about Captain Dapperwing's manor is that tucked at the end of a leafy path on Central Campus. The manor is a quite relaxation spot for like elite faculty, as well as a place of academic meditation and counseling for students. The manor dates to the earliest days of Wakefield, when the mage and military veteran Captain Ramus Dapperwing held faculty appointments in the manor. He always wanted a quiet place to retire in the evenings and to host lavish dinner parties that the professor used his significant military pension to build this manor on campus. After he died, Captain Dapperwing bequeathed the manor to the university, which honored his legacy by giving the house and his name and keeping most of its original furnishings in a pristine condition. That's kind of what you kind of know that it's kind of converted. The upper floors were converted into offices for like some faculty members, and some faculty members meet with students during for academic matters during the day, and in the evenings the manor is the site of dinner parties and elegant cocktail hours for those faculty members with their most promising students and visiting alumni.
So basically, it is a house that a huge Magi military guy, he gave it to the school after he passed, and now it's basically used. Some professors have their offices there, and then they will mentor students there. And at night or some elegant evenings, they have dinner parties and stuff like that. I don't know why it would be a place for someone to call upon us. I mean, maybe it's a professor of some sort.
Maybe.
But midnight. Why would a professor ask us to come out there at midnight?
I don't know that it is. And if it is, I don't know that we should trust them. Do we really want to do this?
Well, I mean, I kind of want to figure out who sent it. But it sounds really threatening.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a fight. Or at least a challenge.
Mar, what do you think?
I got really caught up on the captain part and everything, because it reminded me of captains on ships and not a building. Well, I don't know what to do. If it's a teacher, then I don't want to disobey it. But if it's not a teacher, then I don't want to be up past curfew.
Well, so I doubt it's a teacher. I feel like if it's a teacher and we disobey, how are they gonna get us in trouble?
I mean, if it's a teacher, it kind of seems like they have to be breaking the rules. This can't be normal.
Exactly. I don't know if I'm gonna do it.
But we do have this note, and if we get caught and be like, hey, somebody wrote this note.
Oh, well, what if we just crept up and stayed away, but we just looked to see who was waiting?
Can Mar take the note from Elzie?
Mhm.
She's going to take the note and turn around and cast a Messentia on it real fast.
Okay. So when you cast Essentia on the note, you see that it is being written by a female woman. That she looks to be young enough to be a student, not old enough to be a teacher or anything like that. She has beautiful blonde hair that is coiffed and laid. And she smiles before signing it quickly, and then you see the echo kind of dissipate as she hands the letter over to the owl, and the owl disappears.
Oh,
What'd you just do?
I cast that divination spell that we were taught. It's not Evelyn.
Oh. Who was it?
Some blonde student. I don't know if it was Elodie or
It was.
she's dead.
It was not.
Okay. She was going to say some blonde student.
Well, if you saw someone that's not Evelyn, Then I think I will go.
Ooh, maybe it's that girl no one can remember.
Yeah, maybe it's high magic.
Maybe.
We should go, guys. What do you want to do?
I still think we should approach and see who it is before we go walking into something we don't understand. What if it is another trap? I mean, we've been caught in a couple.
Right.
That's
What if we like go inside the captain's building and just stay a little bit too long, and then we can look out the window?
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and then at least if something goes wrong, maybe there would be someone there that could help us, like another professor or something. Okay.
I don't know that we should get professors involved. I mean, we're talking about meeting after midnight. So.
No, I just mean if something, if something bad happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't think we should go inside.
You don't think we should go in the building?
No.
Well,
Because there's offices there. And if we're caught, we're in big trouble.
But who's going to be at their office that late?
These are scholars we're talking about.
Yeah.
Scholars that need their rest.
Well, why don't we scope out the building and see if there's like a tree or something we can like hide in for a little bit. Let's scope the area.
Good idea.
I'd be down.
Just to see what's nearby.
Yeah,
Okay.
we should go now.
As you leave the greenhouses, the thunderstorm is like just pouring down sloshing rain. As kind of the evening is starting to settle in across the grounds, and you guys head to the manor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mara's loving the rain, by the way. She's just like full out, like letting it soak into her.
Sure. So you guys head down the leafy path, and you come across the gates of the manor as it kind of looms in the distance. You can see that there are some lights on inside the building as kind of office hours are still going on. But you just kind of see this looming manor down at the end of the path.
Wow.
Good.
So it looks like we're definitely don't have a lot of places to hide.
yeah, I mean, we'll be able to stay out of sight. It's a little spooky.
Yeah.
I wish we knew like a invisibility spell.
Oh, we are not that advanced yet.
I know.
Well, let's think about what we do know. What do we know that could help us figure out who this is without having to come face to face with them first?
I still think we hide behind a tree or something.
I don't think there's any other way about it.
And it is technically the weekend, so it is ours to use as we wish.
What if half of us, or like 2 or 3 of us, go to where they want us to meet or nearby, and then a few of us hide, and if something goes wrong, that way we're not all in trouble at the same time.
I think we should all be there if we are deciding to go.
Yeah. Well, this
I don't know. We scoped this out, guys. Why don't we go back and warm up?
yeah.
We didn't find a place to hide, though.
Just pick a tree.
Okay. If you think a tree will be good enough.
Where else could we hide? We can't go in the building.
Yeah, I don't know. Alright, yeah, I'm tired of being in the rain, though. Let's go.
You guys head back inside.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys head back inside of the school. And you see some students drying themselves off with some drying spells and things like that, as professors are conjuring up towels and umbrellas for students that need to go outside. And you get some of the towels, you warm yourself off as you feel the warm hug of like having fresh laundry, you know, right out of the dryer, and wrapping around and drying yourself off. And you realize that these towels are enchanted to really get you all dry. And then you put it in the receptacles, feeling warm again.
That's a cool bit of magic.
That's
Yeah, this is nice.
I wouldn't mind learning that someday.
It has to be a sort of charm.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for bed.
For bed,
I'm just kidding.
well, we could at least get some dinner, you know, warm up, you know, get ourselves all ready and
Yeah, and I was actually going to go to the library before it closes and see if Eliot or a book would know how to do an invisibility spell, if that's even in a wheelhouse. For
Seems
tonight.
tricky.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a shower. I feel just, I don't know, icky still. This the whole mansion thing is freaking me out.
Okay.
I might take a shower too, actually.
Okay. Well, then we'll meet you at midnight.
Yeah, where do you guys want to meet?
Maybe we should meet a little before midnight so that we could get there first.
Yeah, that's smart.
Okay. Well, we'll meet by those gates.
At 11:30?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Okay, have fun, Sharon.
All right, so you guys head up to the showers and things like that, as the rest of you go to the dinner hall.
I have a question though. So Elzie and Cadence have to go back to the room to get their like stuff for the showers, right? Or
Yeah.
can they just go to the showers?
I mean, they could, but they would just be changing back into their regular clothes. They would, if they wanted like their new clothes, yeah, they would have to go back to the room.
So she's actually so she's gonna go back to the room as well with them. She wanted to grab a book that she like didn't have on her. And then she actually, like in their shower caddies or something, would like to try and plant her echo pearl before they leave the room.
Okay. Roll sleight of hand.
Ooh.
Oh, poo. Okay, hold on one second. What's my modifier? Sleight of hand. It's only an 8. Shit. Okay.
Who
Damn
did she
it.
put it in?
I'm gonna see how well Cadence can roll
That's a good bet.
for this one, because this is gonna be the one time you're gonna roll a nat 20.
Oh,
Go ahead
please.
and roll a perception.
Okay.
Okay, see, I knew this was gonna be what you're gonna roll well for.
17.
Fuck.
The highest roll ever.
So Cadence sees that.
Yeah, so you pick up your shower caddy and you notice that there's something new that was not in there before.
She'll reach in and pull out the pearl. Elzie, look.
What is that?
It's one of those. She knows what it is, right?
She just knows it's a pearl.
It's Looks like a piece of jewelry, like a pearl from something.
That seems valuable, and someone would definitely want that back. So maybe you should like put it on the table over there, like the coffee table, and then hopefully the owner will realize they lost it and they'll find it on the table.
You know that Messentia spell, right?
Yeah, I do.
What if this is another one of Evelyn's tricks?
I mean,
What if it's enchanted like those
by
buttons?
leaving it behind.
Why would somebody put a pearl?
So
Why would someone put a pearl in my shower stuff? That can't have happened by accident.
yeah, I don't think it did. Either a crazy coincidence or an accident.
Has Ingrid already left the room? Like, was she like in and out?
Yeah, she would have just been like picking up her book and trying to toss the echo pearl in.
I think you should cast it on it just so we can see if it was put there on purpose. And if not, we'll turn it into Lost and Found.
Okay.
It's in our room. Why would we turn it into a whole ass Lost and Found?
Well, voice in my head, because
Sorry.
maybe somebody in the shower room lost it. But I don't know. This seems like something Evie would do. It seems like kind of weird.
It definitely does.
No harm done by casting a spell, right?
I agree. And Evie, or not Evie, Elzie tries to cast Messentia. Well, doesn't try. She casts it.
You cast the Messentia.
Mhm.
So when you cast the Messentia spell, you see a mermaid just swimming around, singing loftily as she's casting magic and just casting her song around this pearl.
Whoa. I saw a mermaid singing and casting a spell on this pearl. She's like swimming around it.
So it is
That's-
enchanted.
Yeah, enchanted. But who is it? And why?
Well, it wasn't Maristela, was it?
I don't think so. It didn't look like her.
Hmm.
Did I
Well-
recognize her?
No.
Okay.
I'll keep it in the caddy for now, and we'll take it to the Lost and Found later.
Okay.
All right, so that's where we're gonna end tonight's episode.
Oh no!
Yeah, mostly because my food is here. So
Oh.
yeah, I didn't expect it to get here so fast. But okay, questions, comments, concerns, clarifications.
Yeah.
Here, I'll be right back. Let me go get my food real quick.
Okay.
I feel like the stakes are getting so high. Like, in our group.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna laugh if he thought it was Maristela. She's like, "Oh, it's Maristela who did it."
It feels so wrong to keep things from the group. I don't like it.
I mean, it's like keeping our backstories from the group.
Yeah, but no, I just mean like for Elzie and Cadence to be sneaky. I mean, I don't know. It's fun. I love it. The drama.
We usually don't hide things.
No.
So it's
If
a good like difference.
it's